A quick heads up, the old heads up to the 5-minute quickie, which is obviously a lot longer than 5 minutes because it always is. And I think you just find it interesting. I'm going to say no more.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Well, I want to share something that my old friend Tim Ferriss told me. The only thing is, Tim Ferriss is an old friend of mine, but I feel like he's an old friend of mine because I listen to so many of his podcasts. And I hope you feel like an old friend of mine by listening to this too. So, what did Uncle Tim say? Well, he was talking to somebody about something, and he just, again, they're like these throwaway lines. And it was, practice when it's not important. And I thought to myself, that is a gem of advice. Because most of the time when we have things that we want to do, we leave it to the last moment. Or we do things when they're the most important and urgent. And I was just talking to a young lad that I've been like mind coaching, as it were, for golf. And he was saying how he was having things were going great, but just a little thing just popped up that he wasn't able to cope with a little bit. He was coping quite well, but not as well as he wanted, put it that way. And we were just saying things like, well, you can go and visualize doing things differently, doing it better, but do it when it doesn't matter. And that's when it just sprang to mind again. This thing, practice when it doesn't matter, because then there's no emotional pressure on you, because then it's fun. It can become interestingly fun because it doesn't matter. It matters in a way that it's important to you, but it doesn't matter that it has to be done right now. There isn't that pressure that this has to be done so this can be done. So you can sit down at night for 5 minutes in the evening and just go, do you know what, I'm going to do this particular thing. And because it doesn't matter. But the more I practice it, and what does practice make? It doesn't make perfect. It makes permanent. And while we're doing this practicing when it doesn't matter, we're taking all the pressure off. We're making it fun. We're then able to do the things exactly the way we want them. Maybe a little slower. And that's cool. Muscle memory. But doing it in a way that we just get it done the way we want to. And over a small period of time, when it comes to push and shove and things like that, when the time period's up and the importance of it is all there for you, you suddenly go into the normal way of doing it, which is the way you've been imagining it or the way you've been practicing. It just happens that way. And sometimes just by practicing when it doesn't matter, you're doing it. Yeah, I know I practice this on a Monday and this on a Tuesday. But just taking a bit of time out and saying, you know what, I'm going to do something for me. I'm just going to practice this. Maybe, say for me, it used to be, and it still is a little bit, on my hypnosis scripts, I always used to practice it. But a lot of the practice would be by myself. And I'd be walking my dog Howie. Because it didn't matter then, did it? Howie didn't mind. He quite enjoyed it. In fact, he just tootled off by himself. He wasn't the fastest dog in the world, so he didn't go too far away. So he could hear me. But out loud, I would speak out loud. And then if I needed to, I'd go back because it didn't really matter and do it again. And yet when I learn a new thing now, I'm not quite sure. I don't always have to sit down and go, this is my time for deep thinking, deep work. Put the pressure on me to do something. I'll go, oh, I'm driving in my car. What was it again? Let's go through it again now. Maybe I'll refer to a book before I go out. And then I just go, okay, I can practice that. Because it doesn't matter. But when it comes to them, for say, in that hypnosis process I've been learning, and the client comes in, And I never know what I'm going to do with a client because they're totally unique. Their issue is unique. It may be the same or similar to other people's. It's never the same. Similar. But it doesn't mean that the one process fits all. So I sit there with my open mind, listening, talking, asking questions. And then, if that new process suddenly pops up and says, this is the one, Paul. That's how it sometimes comes to me. This is the one. I know I can just do it the way I've been practicing when it didn't matter. And because then I've got this relaxed way of doing it, I can do it naturally. I can do it as Paul. And with that, just seem to get the results. And because I've done it that way, then it means the next time I do it again, it'll be even better. But I'll also practice it again when it doesn't matter, just to make sure. I wonder what you could practice and what you could practice when it doesn't matter. And I'd like you to experiment with this. So just pick a nice little subject, sometimes like maybe playing the guitar. Say that's another example where you're going to practice scales, you're going to practice this. Sometimes just practice one or two small things for 5 minutes when it doesn't matter. Just every now and again. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe you want to get better at journaling. And you have this ritual that every morning I'm going to sit down with the pressure on to journal. But hey, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I've got nothing to do for 5 minutes. Do you know what I'm going to do? Pick up my journal and write. Notice how, when you do that a few times, that connection comes. Maybe it's like drawing or sketching or painting. You just completely a different time of the day or the week. You just suddenly go, do you know what? Let's just do a little sketch of something random because it doesn't matter. And I'm going to put my old Cluffy guarantee on this. Whatever you practice when it doesn't matter, I guarantee you, your formal practice will get better, but the results will get even doubly better. And the thing about it is, you're going to enjoy them more. And the more you enjoy them, the more you'll practice when it doesn't matter. And then practice isn't practice. It's an enjoyable thing to do. It becomes a part of everything. So it's not disjointed. It's a continuum. This is what I do and this is how I get better. And so we can take it to any part of the personal development, any part of your career, maybe practicing being kind when it doesn't matter. That's a nice thing to do, wouldn't it? Maybe practice being kind to the person you love when it doesn't matter. That's even easier, isn't it? And you just imagine now, if you did that to a best friend or someone you love, practicing being kind when it didn't matter, how would that relationship be different right now? There you go. We've gone well over our 5 minutes, but this was totally unscripted. I don't script anyway, but I just thought I'm just going to come and talk to you about this. So this is my life practicing when it didn't matter. And it's hopefully become something that does matter. And it's made more sense to me just to explain it to you. Because I always say, if you want to learn something, tell somebody, teach it, because you'll learn even more. So there you go. I'm learning so much more. So thank you. Thank you for being part of this community. And by being part of this community, here comes the music. Hey, share, if you would, this podcast or any other podcast, all of them, and explain to people why you're sharing, how much you maybe enjoy about this, what you picked out of this. Maybe my elder son does this and says, here's Dad, here's another one I just thought you'd enjoy. And I'll listen to it and I go, yeah, that was nice. And a lot of those I subscribe to, some go by the wayside. That's life. Maybe we don't always get it. And some people hide the problems they're having. So sharing this to the people who you don't even think need it. And this is not all about issues, is it? This is about improving ourselves and using processes that really work. So please do share everywhere. Pay it forward. That's the only thing you have to pay to listen to this type of podcast. Pay it forward. Pay forward all the other ones you like as well. Not just this one first though. And I know it does take a few minutes to do, but if you do have those minutes, please share, please subscribe, so you don't have to ever think about having to look for this podcast again. It'll come on that device of yours whenever there's a new one, which is twice a week, regularly now, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And, a review would be good. That helps share the word as well, and distributes this thing into a bigger world of the personal development community, so people can be part of it too. And when we do that, we are creating a difference in the world. And as we said before, you'll never know how far the ripples of change go. They're very subtle. Little ones create massive things. It's that butterfly flapping over the other side of the world, causing a storm of wonder somewhere else. So please do that. Listen to those hypnosis tracks. Go to paulcloughonline.com. They're all free. Just sign up. Everything is totally safe with me, I promise. And enjoy everything you can. Even have a look at paulcloughonline.com. Things are going to be changing shortly. Different programs, different types of things. There's some great hypnosis tracks. Yeah, they're for pay for, but they're different ones as well. So go and have a look anyway. Costs you nothing to look. Just don't touch. All right. Anyway, enjoy every heartbeat. Until next time, this is Paul saying goodbye, my friend.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.